What's up? So in today's video, I am exposing all the common lies that the so-called experts in the healing from binge eating, healing from emotional eating, curbing cravings, feeling good with your food, all of that in this space, right? Some of these experts are just misinformed, but they have great intentions. Some have great intentions, but they just don't have the experience. And some might not have the best of intentions and might be using marketing tactics and techniques to get you into their program. So no matter what it is, I'm going to expose the truth, expose the lies, so you know what to look out for so you can help yourself if you're struggling instead of hurt yourself with some of these techniques, tools, programs, and so forth that feel so promising, but do nothing but set you up for failure. All right, so Brittany Brown here, founder at Beating Binge Eating and Food Freedom Forever, our mastermind and movement. So I have helped thousands of women break through the struggle of everything from binge and emotional eating to weight loss and lasts to really feeling in their power with themselves, their body, and food. And I have had so many women come to us trying all kinds of techniques, tools, methods that seem so promising on the surface, but set them up for failure. And I tried so many of these myself. So I'm going to expose or reveal the top ones now and make sure you're really set up for success so you don't fall into those tracks. So the first one that I think is probably the most commonly and well known, I'll kind of get that one out of the way, then we can get into the less known one. So the first one's dieting. Every kind of diet, from ketogenic to Weight Watchers that seems more balanced, whatever that is. I know there's probably going to be people that freak out about this because they'll say certain health conditions and so forth. So health conditions excluded, right? Dieting, restrictive eating, or restricting in the name of health conditions, right? There's a way to do it without, hurting your health conditions and so forth. But restricting in any way triggers survival mechanisms in the brain and body that make you think about food more, eat uncontrollably, crave more food, and all in all, struggle more with weight loss. The exact opposite of what you want. But dieting's so tempting when you see friends and so forth get results. So watch out for that, right? It's easy to look at the short-term results and not really take a step back and look at the long-term results. The whole I'm gonna diet, then have a balanced relationship with food thing doesn't work. So now that we're talking about dieting and what that does to your brain and body, you might be thinking, hey, I have health conditions. I have to eat a certain way. So I struggled with these myself. Adrenal fatigue, hypothyroid, kidney issues, leaky gut, food intolerances, all different things that I suffered with because of all my binge and emotional eating and all the damage I did to my body. So many doctors, so many nutritionists told me I had to eliminate all these things from my diet to heal my body, and that simply wasn't the case. So number two is healthy eating plans who say they're just this healthy lifestyle change, or detoxes that say they're just this healthy lifestyle thing, but really it's just a diet in disguise. So an example of this is Whole30. Now, the author, the creator, wonderful woman, on a mission to really spread health and happiness through the world. I have nothing against her personally. What I will say though is even though the plan has some beautiful principles like eat whole foods and take care of your body with nourishing high vibration foods with good nutrients and take care of your gut with these things, there's beautiful practices and principles. But I've never in my history of working with anyone seen someone come from Whole30 and not have a messed up relationship with food, or this pendulum swing of I was so restricted, now I am binge and overeating. That restriction, no matter if it's in the name of health or whatever it is, can trigger binge and emotional eating. So if you struggle in any way with binge eating, these plans are not the plans for you. They will work short term as best, but they won't actually work long term. You have to heal from the inside out, heal your relationship with food, and break out of the pattern of binge eating before you go slapping a band-aid of a diet or a healthy lifestyle change that's really just a diet in disguise. Number three is therapy. So once again, not knocking therapy in any way. I think there are some beautiful, well-intentioned therapists out there. I think there's a time and place for therapy and inner work and healing. I think that therapy has changed the lives of so many women. And if you are struggling with a mental health condition, please don't let me detour you from going to therapy if that's what feels right for you. Or even if it doesn't feel right and you just need some type of resource and therapy is the only resource you have accessible, go and get that support that you need. Now, on the flip side of this, I see so many clients and people coming from therapy because it did not work for them. So many people coming from in and outpatient treatment centers that use restrictive eating protocols that they would also use for someone with anorexia and these calculated meal plans, right? But used for a woman who has binge and emotional eating, that's really unsupportive for a multitude of reasons, including the few I started the video with. The other piece of this is the belief in therapy that the relationship with food is only a culprit of inner healing, past traumas, maybe, you feel out of control in life, so then you control your food. Yes, some food stuff can be associated with all these things, right? If we've had trauma, it makes sense that we would escape with food. I'm not negating this. What I am saying is if you only work on the emotional stuff, you're going to be on a wild goose chase of trying to fix yourself and figure out what's wrong with you, instead of really working with your brain, your physiology, and breaking the patterns in your brain and body that are driving you to food in those heightened states of emotion, driving you to food. So I see so many therapists and treatment centers miss a huge mark on the neuroplasticity side as well as the physiological side, what's happening in the brain and body, and a lot of the subconscious beliefs and so forth that are standing in the way of someone's freedom. And last but not least, I want to talk about food addiction. There's videos on my channel about it. I'm going to call out Overeaters Anonymous. Once again, I get the well-intentioned desire. I love that it's faith-based and looking at something, bigger than yourself to pull you through. There are beautiful principles. The 12-step program for Alcohol Anonymous has changed the lives of thousands of people. And OA puts people on a restrictive diet, tells people they're going to struggle forever. They have this addiction. They have to abstain from food. When restrictive diets is what's causing this process. I do think there's obviously, sugar and stuff elicits chemicals in the brain and our brain wants more of it. I'm not denying that there is a chemical process that happens when we eat certain foods and so forth. But food addiction, that implies that there's this monster or disease inside of us that we are never going to be able to heal from unless we control our food and control everything. And this is not the case. We've worked with so many women who went through OA. OA did not work for them. It was kind of a restrictive, controlling approach that took their personal power away, made them binge and eat more. It just worked short term. It was like a few day Band-Aid, a few month Band-Aid at best. And this actually leads to one more that I just thought of that I wasn't planning on talking today. And this is a program that has you actually associate with the part of yourself that's binging as this inner monster, inner pig, and you have to cage yourself and control your eating and cage your binge monster and create food rules for what you can and can't have and treat these food rules kind of like this moral compass, just like you wouldn't, let me think of something terrible, beat up a puppy, you also wouldn't have sugar after 7 p.m. That's how strict this thing is. And if anything that you're exploring for your support with binge and emotional eating makes you feel shame, makes you feel judged, makes you feel like you have to keep yourself or a part of yourself in a cage, makes you feel like you can't go do certain social things because this inner thing inside of you is going to take over at any moment, that is not the right program or the right fit for you. That thing inside of you that has you binge is not a flaw of who you are as a person. It's not a flaw of your design as a human. It actually is your body doing work to protect you. It's your body and brain working as it should to take care of you. So there are physiological and deeper things at play, and all of these tools to just put yourself in a cage, create rules, control whatever that might be, At best, those work short term, but what they do is they keep you in this cycle of fighting. They pit you against your brain and your body, and they actually make your binge eating so much worse in the long run. And not to mention, they exacerbate the shame and the judgment and the criticism, and you're in this process of tension and stress response, and that makes you have more cravings. That leads to emotional eating. And also, if you want to lose weight, if you're in this tension and this fight, weight is a weight release. You can't release if you're constantly fighting and working against your body and your brain and your physiological mechanisms in your body that are just here to keep you alive. So I hope this helped. I know I talked really fast. I could say so much more on each of these subjects, but I just want you to know what to watch out for. Basically, if it makes you feel like less than a human in any way, if it makes you feel like something wrong with you, or if it's full of rules, dieting, restriction, no matter if it's a world-class therapist that does it, or if it's a, Instagram influencer selling a $5 meal plan that she probably doesn't even follow herself, if it makes you feel bad or is a fight in any way, then that is not the answer for you if you're struggling with binge or emotional eating. It will make things worse. So if you are looking for an answer, are looking for something that's rooted in love and care and nourishment, and you just connecting back to yourself and honoring your desires and working with your physiology and your brain and making sure you actually never binge again, right? You don't have to cage yourself to never binge again. You actually get to a place where you never have an urge to binge again. So there's a difference between controlling a binge and not getting urges anymore. And if you want that system to not ever have to struggle with those urges again, then please, just below this video, get the link, get the free training. That training will set you up for what we call Food Freedom Forever and really show you a step-by-step path to break out of this struggle and fight for good. So go get that training now. It's in the description someplace around this video, or the link just below, or the button below someplace, and I will see you in the next video.